Welcome back, Firebirds. I'm excited to have you back as we open our doors for the 2021 school year. All of us together continue to learn how to live with COVID 19. It's important that we all recognize that the coronavirus is far from over, and it will continue to be here throughout this school year. This goes for student athletes, parents, families, friends, and community. We all know that there are very limited treatments, and a vaccine is at least months away. So, one positive case can spread quickly and impact all of us. It is important that each of us do our part to minimize the risk of spread. In addition, everyone must recognize simply by being out here will increase your risk of exposure. But if the summer has taught us anything, when we make good choices and do the right things, we can control the spread. I am so proud of the Lakota West student athletes that we did not have any cases that traced back to an on campus workout. However, we did have to work through some positive cases as a result of not following basic safety guidelines at private gatherings. We all must be smart if we hope to finish the season. The sacrifices you make now will significantly increase our ability to finish what we start. Normally, we'd all be gathered in the main gym and I would review the not so fun rules and regulations that normally make my desk in any given season. I am disappointed we can't be together. One of my favorite times of year is when I get to be the first to welcome everybody back from a summer break. Unfortunately, social distancing and limits on indoor gatherings, we have shifted to have meetings in individual sports, and that my made for radio face would make a short video. The PowerPoint of the earth-shaking information I normally cover has been moved to paper that your head coach will review. Please feel free to call me or email me if you have any questions about what gets talked about in those meetings. This video is intended to specifically address COVID 19 and the safety guidelines and requirements we have put in place. Being able to open this fall has been a challenge to say the least. There are basically three groups of people, all with different opinions on how this fall should proceed. Those that want to charge ahead, like I do, those that feel a delay is needed, and those that believe that all activities should not be permitted. It has been the position of Lakota that participating in school and in extracurricular activities is an individual family decision. As a result, we are moving forward to make opportunities available for those that choose to take advantage of them by putting in place some very specific safety measures and additional education for our student athletes and their families. How we all choose to embrace these safety measures will determine whether or not we will be able to finish this season. I have been so proud of our student athletes and their coaches this summer. For the most part, they have embraced the safety changes, and we successfully made it through the summer with no cases of spread as a result of on campus workouts. Everyone wasn't perfect, and everyone has to do better if we expect to be able to finish this season. Because of this, this is not the year to tough it out when you're not feeling well. When you perform your daily wellness check before you arrive to school, it is critical that you stay home if you have any COVID 19 symptoms: fever, chills, difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, headache, fatigue, loss of taste or smell. Your coach will continue to take your temperature prior to arriving to an athletic facility. We are all in this together and we must depend on each other to make good choices. And this really includes your time away from campus. Everywhere you go and everyone you're with in some way comes back to all of us here. We need you to protect our Firebird family. No matter how many precautions we take, it is expected that we will see positive cases that could come as a result of contact on the field or exposure while you're off campus. When a positive case occurs, the Butler County Board of Health will be notified. We will also notify the families of the sports impacted. Butler County will conduct the tracing and will determine if anyone requires isolation or quarantine. The athlete who tests positive will not be permitted to return until cleared by their physician, and those on quarantine will return upon county's approval. Those who are removed for symptoms are encouraged to get testing and can return when they're symptom free for 72 hours. I must stress this to all of you. If you or someone in your family is in a high risk category, you must think very carefully about the choice you have about the school year and your participation in sports. Individually, you need to decide what is best for your family. This fall will look very different, and we will need your patience and understanding because the alternative is we get closed down and the season's end. Masks and social distancing will be required by everyone. We're still working through what crowds will look like at our events. We know that there will be restrictions and limitations, and possibly even not permitted at all. Parents of our athletes will always have first access to tickets if crowds are limited. So please be on the lookout for more specific ticket information once we receive more guidance from the state. Because of the expected capacity limitations, we will not be selling season or family passes. For the sports that do not charge admission, we will really need your support and diligence in ensuring that masks are always worn and you maintain 6 feet social distance from those not in your family pod. I cannot stress this enough. Those who come on campus without a mask will be asked to leave if they're not willing to put on a mask. Please do not create a confrontation that could be embarrassing to you, your child, or the school. If you're not willing to wear a mask or social distance, you're not welcome on campus. This is not a political debate, and yes, the school can legally make such requirements of its visitors. I need everyone to help make these requirements easy for all of us in the best interest of your kids. Golf, tennis, volleyball, and recently added cross country, being classified as low no contact sports, have been given the green light to move forward as they always have in the past. As a result of the governor's orders, soccer and football are able to practice like normal, but they're not yet permitted to compete against other schools. We really are hopeful that the governor will lift this order before contests begin later in August, but for planning purposes, assume there will not be scrimmages this season. As we move forward with athletics this fall, there have been many conversations about the risk tolerance associated with the spread. In discussions with Lieutenant Governor Houston, the state strongly feels that scrimmages are simply not worth the risk, and I agree with him. If we can get through the next couple weeks with data points in Ohio continuing to drop, we truly believe the governor will drop the current testing restrictions and games will be able to begin. But everyone must be aware that the decision on whether or not we're given permission for contact games lies solely with Governor DeWine, not the OHSAA. A few weeks back, Lieutenant Governor Houston started the I Want a Season campaign. I encourage you, post your pics wearing a mask and social distancing when you're not training, and add the hashtag I Want a Season. We need to show our governor that we got this. It is also important for everyone to know that every school district in Ohio looks different in how they're opening up the school year. Some districts in Ohio have gone full remote and suspended athletics indefinitely. This has already caused an issue with some of our schedules. I commend the Lakota Board of Education and our superintendent, Matt Miller, for giving us the opportunity to open as a school and maintain extracurriculars. However, due to the number of schools that have either closed or gone conference only, everyone needs to understand and be flexible, as I will do everything I can to fill in the holes created by the schools who are not competing. As a result, I do not believe any of our sports will have a complete schedule this fall. Your understanding and flexibility is important. When I am able to add games at the last minute, my goal is simply to get our athletes as close to a full schedule as I can. And while we're fortunate to currently be able to move forward, we also must be understanding and supportive of our neighbors who may have made a different and tough decision. Please remember, we're all in this together. Getting started this fall truly has been the easy part. Staying open will be the hard part. As we forge ahead this fall, we must all do our part. Wear a mask, social distance, clean your hands frequently, and as always, go Firebirds.